Coming home.
Okay. All right, let's go check out that air filter.
Okay, there's the air box. So those of you that don't know, I run a open air box. I always have. I don't do really deep water crossings, and I try not to do really deep water crossings. I figure you can probably get it that much. I mean, you'll probably get a couple inches if you still have the snorkel, but whatever. We need to get as much air in there as possible. The bike run's kind of rich, so. So yeah, so some water did get in when I washed it, so there might have been more dust on it. Let's take this little plug off and see if any water comes out. That's what this plug is for. And not really any water came out. Well, a whole bunch of dirt came out. Okay, well there is some water in there though. So, all right, so that's the filter. It looks pretty dirty, so we'll go ahead and clean it. Let's get it out of there, and then we'll see how well it did. So, like I said, my plan was, I was debating whether we were going to run the filter skin or not. We could have just pulled it off, you know. We did ride in some kind of dusty conditions. It was really open, but sometimes we were riding in a canyon, and they just kicking dust up in the canyon, all the other riders, and you just can't escape that stuff, you know. Yeah, so, I mean, we rode with other people whenever, you know, there's no way you can get around riding other people, you know. So there it is. It's wet. Filter's wet. So I don't know. It might have been dirtier than that. But now the dirt has like stuck to the filter because I wet the filter. Yeah, it gets pretty wet. But it's pretty dry on top still. Yeah. Yeah, just kind of this open part is where it gets wet. Let's check the other side too. So I just washed the bike, so yeah, I can kind of stick my finger in there. Let's see. No, I can't get it in there far enough. I'm making the plastics dirty. Okay, so let's get the filter out there. So yeah, I just like I said, I've ridden this bike in the rain before. I've done water crossings in it, not really deep ones, like probably up to the wheel bearings, you know, or up to the engine. So it's I wouldn't go higher. What they say, balls deep is too deep. I wouldn't go more than like this right here. Yeah, because you're just submerged the intake, and it would be bad. All right, so let's get that filter out of there. Yeah, and I highly recommend that if you are going to take a long trip and you know you don't know if there's a place that you can go take your filter off and clean it, you know, and rather than bringing this stuff with you, I would say pre-oil some filter skins, take them with you. That's what I did on the Transamerica Trail, and it worked beautifully, you know. The filter was just a little bit dirty when I ran it naked when I went home. So it really works. Yeah, it probably chokes your engine a little bit, but not that much. It's better than getting dirt all in your filter, you know. So yeah, but the filter on the DR can take some abuse, you know. That's what I'm gonna say. It's a pretty big filter, so, and yeah, just gotta make sure you install it right.
Oh, there's a filter. It is pretty bad, dude. There's a lot of dirt on it. Just no doubt about it, man. That filter needs a good cleaning. Yeah, this is like I said, we did 400 miles LAB2V, 400 plus miles, I would say, and we did yeah, it was 400 plus miles. And most of it was dirt, and then we rode home. It was another 250 to get back to the van. So this is probably, I would like to say, let me get it in some better light. This is too bright. Okay, there we go. I would probably say this is probably like about almost 700 miles. 700 miles, and then the last part was like just all slab, pretty much. I did do a small portion of the Nevada BDR, but this was not much, and I wasn't riding with anybody, so that's like 500 miles riding with a bunch of people in the desert. What you can do to your filter in 2 days. Riding with other people, it is bad for your air filter. I'm not gonna lie, man. It depends on where you're riding, but if you're riding in the desert, man, or like dusty trails and stuff, this is what happens, and this should be clean right now. This is not.
yeah, you could probably ride it. You could probably still ride it like this, you know, but I wouldn't keep it up. That's for sure. Ideally, we should have ran a filter skin and then changed it at the end of the night, and then put another one on and then change it again, and then the filter would have came out good. But filter skins cost money, and I don't really clean them. I just kind of just throw them away. They're a pain in the ass to clean. By the way, that's what a filter skin looks like. Just carry a bunch of those. They don't take up a lot of space. They're not too expensive, but yeah, I don't clean them. I just throw them away after. So they do kind of add up in the cost after a while. But it's added convenience, because when you clean the filter, you have to get it wet and stuff, and you have to dry the filter, and that takes time. So and the filter you should oil your filter skins when you put them on. So there you go. That's about 600-700 miles and 2 days. 2 days of LAB2V does to your filter. Ouch. It's pretty dirty. I've seen worse though. I've seen worse. It can get worse than that. Like see how that is caked up right there? That's pretty bad right there. But everything else, like this is pretty bad right here. You can tell where the filter sucks in the stuff the most. I believe it goes, which way does it go? Yeah, it goes this way. So like I said, it was wet under here, but the rest of the filter is dry, so it's a little wet here too. Where the holes are on the side of the air box is where the water gets in, basically. And it can handle some water. It's no big deal. So yeah, we will be cleaning this, and then like I said, I gotta let it dry overnight, and it should be good to go. But anyway, that's just that's what it looks like. That's no bueno. So what I'll probably do is get the hose there, and then we'll just kind of dust off the filter very lightly. You know, you don't want it to rip the filter or anything, and then we'll just clean it with that stuff, and then we'll be good to go. So it was pretty dirty when we cleaned it the last time too. So, but yeah, that's LAB2V dust right there, man. It's a lot. Right. Okay, I also like to note that the filter did its job. It's still squeaky clean in there, man. So it did do its job of filtering the dirt. Did a great job. All right, so clean. Okay, there it is. It's clean again. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Cleaned up very well. Yeah, we're just gonna have to let it dry for a while. All right, so there it is. So you saw like how riding in the desert with 500 other folks is like, oh, what is up with this? Okay. But yeah, the filter did its job. As you can see, the cage is very clean still. So it did its job. It definitely was not 100% plugged, you know. So that's a good thing. All right, here's what I got. So next maintenance will be the chain, and I'm not really gonna. You saw how the chain looks like. We will check it after we're done. So there it is. It's a little bit cleaner since I washed the bike, you know, but it's still kind of muddy and stuff. So we'll try to make that look bling bling again, and then it'll be all good. Okay, here's my here. It's the next day, and my filter is nice and dry, and it's clean. So there it is. Still looks good. I think it's getting a little old, but we still use it. It's all good. Looks way better than it did before. But like I said, that wasn't like super dirty. You know, it's pretty dirty when like the dirt it like gets caked on. That was like it like had like about a layer or two of dirt on it, but it was caked in some places, but not really. And yeah, like I said, the filter did its job. Cage is still nice and clean. So we go oil that thing, and then I just sprayed the chain with some WD-40. So we'll go wipe that after it does its magic, and then we'll clean out some of this grease here from the chain lube, and then and yeah, so that's pretty much it. I will shoot another video when we get the filter back in, and then yeah, and then I'll clean the chain. So I sprayed it once. I'll probably wipe it or I'll brush it first with the brush, and then I'll shoot it with the WD-40 again, and we'll do the same thing again, brush it, and then wipe it clean, and then we'll use the Motorex chain cleaner to try to get the WD-40 out of there, and then we'll let it sit for a day to let the stuff evaporate, and then we'll throw some lube on there, and then should be good to go for another battle. All right, here's my cap. Okay, here's my here. So I got it done. There it is, nice and clean. I just sprayed it with the Motorex chain cleaner, and so we'll just gotta let that sit for like a day or two to let that WD-40 and chain cleaner to evaporate and stuff. I'm not really going anywhere, so yeah. So the chain looks okay. I think I'll still use it. I still have to check the what is it, the chain slack. The last I checked, it was fine. It was on the looser side, which is kind of what you want anyways. Cleaned the rim a little bit because it got all the oil all over it, and I put the filter back in there, so it's nice and happy now. And maybe I should put some, might want to put some lube on that. Yeah, just a little bit, I guess. And then should be good. So an alarming thing that I found out is my chain guide is cracked. It doesn't look like it, but there's a big crack right here. As you can see, if I wiggle it around, it is done. Dun dun dun. It was hard to spot, but yeah, I don't know how long that's been like that. I don't know how that happened. Maybe I didn't notice it before. It is really hard to notice. You really have to like kind of just. I was just cleaning it, and I was like, "Hey, what's wrong with this? Like, it's not on there right." So, I mean, I figure I could probably drill 2 holes in it and stick a zip tie in it, but what I'll do is we'll just find another one we'll find one on eBay, and then we'll the death of one DR is the life of mine. So anyway, also you remember the chain slider here, the little swing arm protector, had a big hole in it before, and it's still good, so should be good to go. Yeah, it's just that off-road riding, and it's really rough on the chain, man. The chain is just flopping all over the place. If you remember in I was just editing some of the LAB2V footage, and the bike was just dancing all over the place, man. Yeah, so it's that kind of stuff that kills the chain, man. So yeah, I will just get a new chain guide. I've never had one break before, so it reminds me I should probably check all my other bikes to see if they're still good. But I believe that's the reason that one cracked, is probably because it's just too much rough riding, you know. So we still got to check the chain slack, but I think that should be it for the extent of maintenance. It is a little bit low on oil, and I got to work on that catch can dealie, but well, that'll be a project for another day. I got to get the DR out of the garage so I can get the KLX back in here and start working on it. So, but yeah, nice and clean. So all I did was I cleaned it. I cleaned all the mud off of it. I can't stand seeing mud on, like, I don't mind if the dirt bike is. I don't mind if a dirt bike is dirty, you know, because it's a dirt bike. But if it's got mud all over it, I don't like seeing mud on it. So, or bird poop, or bugs. those are the things I do not want to see on my motorcycle. So yeah. We'll still have to. Yeah, that's right. I still have to pull this muffler off. We'll do that another day. It seems like it's okay, but we'll see how the grommets and stuff did. I bought some rubber washers at Harbor Freight. They're like for like hoses and stuff, I guess. And I think these might work good as a little spacer in between the grommet and the thing also. So we'll give that a whirl. Also, we need to change the front brake pads on this bike. And so brake pads and the chain guide needs a new chain guide, or repair it. And I think that's it. And I got to add a little bit of oil to it, and then figure out how we're going to do the catch can so my bike don't drip oil. Actually, I had a good idea. I was going to install a catch can here, and then I was just going to have it drip the oil. Yeah, well, I would at least need a filter. So what I was going to do is add a catch can here, but it would just automatically drip down into the chain. And then so it would have like a dual effect. It would kind of like, it would spit the oil onto the chain, and it would lube the chain. So it's kind of like you're using the byproducts of your engine to lube your chain. Yeah, so I think that would be that's actually a good idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. But yeah, if I just stuck a filter, if I just stuck a hose going into here for the oil to drip down into, the problem is you need a filter. And if you have a filter on there, then I can't direct it onto the chain. So and then there's no catch can to catch all the oil. So instead of catching the oil, I'm just going to dump it onto the chain. But we still need a filter so the engine doesn't get dirty. But I've ridden it many miles with this setup. So with the crankcase open and open vented, and I haven't had a problem. But I'm sure that's probably why the oil always looks dirty when I when I drain it. So yeah. I looked at I calculated the mileage, how much mileage we did for the last, for the LAB2V trip, and it was 720 miles total, exactly, 720 miles. So that was 720 miles. I already had to clean the air filter and the chain already. So probably didn't have to clean the air filter. I think it would have been okay, but it, you know, you can clean it as many times as you want apparently. And the chain, you know, it was caked up with dirt again, so clean the chain again. So now it's ready to go on another battle. So I don't know where we're gonna ride them next, but I gotta try and find a new adventure bike setup. That's what I gotta do. What I gotta do is try to put all the weight towards the center of the bike, like right back here. Put most of the weight back here. Don't try not to put it on the tail, but I don't think there's a way we can get away with that because we carry so much stuff is the problem. But this is a good start right here. Just moving some of the tools here. I also like that. Oh yeah, that's right. We were supposed to take these out. Yeah, let's go take them out. We'll go take these out and see if they got wet. Anything still wet inside. Okay, so if you remember yesterday, I washed the bike and all this stuff got wet. So we're gonna take it out and we're gonna see if anything happened to it, like if it got wet, if there's any kind of water in there. And it seems okay. I'm sticking my hand in there and it's coming out dry. It's coming out dry. My tire irons came out, they're dry. So this tusk bag is somewhat waterproof. It's not bad. Yeah, it works good. That or like it got wet and it's breathable. You know, that's the important thing. It's breathable, so like the water evaporated out of it and it doesn't like make your stuff moldy, you know. That's the reason I mentioned that you don't want your stuff to get wet for more than a day. It's because it can get rusty or start getting moldy. So definitely don't want any of that happening. So tusk tube fender pack, tube fender pack, passed test. So that looks like it's gonna stay right there. All right. So that's one. We'll go take these two out next. Okay, so there it is. I got my little pencil bag out with this contains the brake, clutch, and the shift levers. So I can tell you now, this is still wet. It's a little bit moist. This stuff would start rusting after a while. So I've actually got to let this. I gotta let it dry before I put it back on. So what I think we're gonna do with this is we're going to stick it in one of these, an MRE bag, or some kind of plastic bag. The MRE bags are really stout. You know, they say that you can use this as like a kind of like a bandage. If you were to get shot on the battlefield and let's say the bullet went straight through, you could actually like use this to patch a wound, a bullet hole in you. So that's one thing I'd heard. I'd never tried it. Never got shot before. Had to do that kind of first aid on anybody, but so okay. So here's the inside of the bag. That looks dry. that is dry. This, man, that's one bent ass shift lever. That's just the backup, you know. If I can find another shift lever on eBay for cheap, then I'll go find one. And yeah, that looks dry too. So these are just worn out levers that I've replaced, just in case I break a lever. And the zip ties. So for the most part, the stuff in the bag was dry. So what I think I'm gonna do is, what I think I could probably get away with is just put all these little extra bolts and stuff inside the bag. Inside the bag where it won't get wet, because like the bag itself is actually waterproof. I can feel it. So yeah, it is. It's kind of like a raincoat material on the inside, but this mesh stuff, it gets wet. So don't put anything in the mesh bag. So that actually passed through. Surprise. I'd imagine if you were, probably all your stuff got drenched. You're probably gonna wanna at some point take all your stuff out and air it out still, but yeah, that'll be fine under there, I guess. All right, so the zip tie going to here. So the way I had this is I zip tied it here, and then I had a zip tie holding the zip ties here, and then the one that was here actually broke. So, but I had the 2 bungee cords on it, so it was okay. So that one's kind of a pass. I think it would fit perfectly in that MRE bag. We'll just put it in the MRE bag. Okay, so now we're gonna check out the MRE bag, see how that turned out. And might I add, it's quite a pain in the ass to take this stuff out because it's all zip tied. So I'm gonna have to zip tie it back up. But the reason all this stuff is zip tied here is because you're probably not gonna need it right away. You know, it's just kind of like emergency stuff. Maybe. This is, if you remember correctly, this is a 21-inch tube for the front. Looks like it's still good. No cuts in it or anything. Alright, let's go open it up. Okay, so I can still see some traces of water here. So the water, yeah, the water like kind of, so this is not, there's no ventilation in this bag at all. So the water, if it gets stuck in there, it stays there. Unless it's like super hot out. But let's see if what's inside is still dry. For the most part, yes, it is dry, so it works. The outside of the bag may start to get moldy and stuff. That's okay. It's no big deal. I don't care about an MRE bag. I got plenty. I have to go find some more now. But yeah, that worked pretty good. And if I look through it, there are no holes in it that I can see if I hold it up to the light. So it still looks like it's in good shape. So MRE bag, for holding a tube holder using MRE bag works. It works. So what I'm probably going to do is double this up. Because this barely fit in here. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll put one going this way and then put one going the other way and then wrap it up in like a burrito again. So yeah, so everything worked fine. I think all we really have to do with this guy, we could still put it in an MRE bag, which is okay. That will be like double the protection. We'll move these bolts into the little pocket here, because it's more waterproof. Yeah, it is. So, and then we'll wrap it up in an MRE bag also. Tusk bag is okay. It didn't get wet, and if it did get wet, whatever was inside it was able to dry enough. Yeah. So all right. So that is the post LAB2V preparation vlog, I guess, or after preparation vlog. So the vlog was just to kind of show you like all the prep I did on the bike and whether it worked or not. It's kind of like that's what they call in the Army, AAR, after action review. So we did preparation, and then we actually did the event, and then now we are reviewing to see, you know, what worked and what didn't work. And for the most part,
everything worked out pretty damn well. We still got to check out the muffler, but everything looks good. We'll just add extra bag to this. We'll put this in the bag, and then yeah, and then I will run this chain until that sprocket is like looks bad. It still looks like that's still got a little bit of life left in it. Yeah, I'll have to order a new chain and sprocket set. I will keep the 13-tooth sprocket, but it'll be only for like dirt events. If I'm just gonna trailer the bike somewhere and then we're just gonna ride it in the dirt, then that'll be okay. You know, it's honestly, I didn't like the 13-tooth sprocket. It just, you know, it's not good for high speed stuff. It's just like you're shifting all the time. You know, this bike doesn't like to rev too much. You know, it doesn't really like to stay up there. I mean, it can, but not really. But yeah, I didn't really like that 13-tooth sprocket, but I think it did help in the really tight stuff. You know, when we're just crawling through the single track, it allows you to do that without having to slip the clutch too much. Going up and down hills, the 13 or 14-tooth sprocket, the thing will just munch the hills, man. Compared to the KLR here, the KLR I have to slip the clutch a lot. But I think that's because we were using stock gearing. This is a little bit. It's a little bit tighter than stock. Yeah, it's just a little bit tighter than stock. Probably like 2 teeth less than stock. That's what it is. It's like a minus 2 or something. So yeah, but I'll keep the 13-tooth, and it'll be only for like doing dirt stuff or like just dirt stuff. If you're gonna do adventure riding, I would rather have the 14-tooth sprocket. Because I like to go fast. But yeah, just blasting through the desert at 50 miles an hour, fine. It's fine. 13-tooth is fine. So yeah, clean the chain, clean the air filter, and clean the bike. Good to go. We found out we need a new chain guide. Damn it. So we'll have to go find another one. I still have to check the chain slack and check the muffler out, but we'll have to save that for another day. So I guess the vlog is not quite done yet. All right, check out. That's it for today.